Britain says it's further demonstrating its commitment to NATO by boosting its presence in Afghanistan. Prime Minister Theresa May has announced an extra 440 non-combat troops in the biggest military commitment in more than a decade. Let's get more on this now. Live to Westminster, RT's Anastasia Churkin is there. Hi there. What are the potential implications of May's move?
Well, you know, Colin, certainly the timing of this announcement is quite curious. There we have Donald Trump saying he's making it clear he wants NATO allies to really step it up. And here we have the UK pretty much almost immediately appeasing him by not just saying, here we are, one of the few countries contributing 2% of our GDP to NATO, but also we're going to provide some troops.
We lead by example, and not only by meeting the NATO targets of spending 2% of our GDP on defence, but also 20% of our defence budget on equipment, and in the way in which we deploy thousands of armed forces personnel on NATO operations around the world every day. We're announcing today that we will be deploying an additional 440 personnel to NATO's Resolute Support mission in Afghanistan. And I think that shows when NATO calls, the UK is one of the first to step up.
Well, the question there is whether it's NATO calling or Donald Trump calling, because we have to understand that this is the first time in years that the UK is making such a contribution. Indeed, the number being talked about is 440 non-combat troops, which will bring the total number of UK troops in Afghanistan to 1,100. And it also has to be clear that this is the biggest commitment the UK is stepping into in years since previous British Prime Minister David Cameron withdrew UK troops from the ground after 13 years of presence, leaving just 450 troops in a training role and then adding some since that happened. So certainly this announcement could indeed be seen as part of a package of the welcome mat being rolled out for Donald Trump, especially in light of his upcoming visit to the UK this week, given the controversy surrounding his visit, of course, with the protests being planned while he's in the UK, as well as some protests having been taking place, and of course including plans to fly a giant baby balloon depicting the US president that he is quite certain not to enjoy very much.
Yeah, police are going to have their work cut out in London later this week. All right, for now in Westminster, Anastasia Churkin, thanks very much for that.